Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott Jacobs, and you're listening to Juiced Sports Radio. And this is going to be a very biased video because as an alumni of Florida State University, FSU basketball has just shocked the world by winning the ACC Tournament for the first time in school history. Yes, the Florida State Seminoles, the same team that was a football powerhouse for years and completely irrelevant in basketball until recently, has just dethroned North Carolina and Duke in the last 24 hours to win the ACC crown, likely locking up a number 3 seed in the NCAA Tournament. That's my projection at least. Worst, there are 4. What an incredible story FSU has been this season. There was a point earlier in the season where they had just lost to Clemson. Actually, they had been blown out, and they appeared that they wouldn't even make the NCAA Tournament. FSU caught fire after that, winning, I believe, 7 games in a row. They finished the season 24-9, 12-4 in the ACC in the regular season. They beat Miami, Duke, and North Carolina on 3 successive nights in Atlanta. The last 2 games coming in a completely pro North Carolina and pro Duke atmosphere. FSU fans were like trying to find where's Waldo in the Phillips Arena, but FSU has won the ACC title. It's an unbelievable story. They've now beat Duke and North Carolina twice in the same season, just the 4th ACC team to do so since, I believe, 1980-something. It is hard to believe that FSU, the same team that 5 years ago lost a NIT game to the Akron Zips in Tallahassee, is now going to the NCAA Tournament, and many believe they can not only do damage, but they can go far. Last year, FSU was a 10 seed that slithered their way to the Sweet 16 before losing to an even bigger Cinderella in VCU on a last-second shot. This year, FSU will be looked down by no one because the Seminoles are really good. Yes, they seem to play down to their competition, but in a year where the field seems wide open, including Kentucky losing to Vanderbilt today in the SEC title, anything can happen, anything is possible, and FSU has the talent to compete with the likes of Duke and UNC and Kentucky and North Carolina. Or I already repeated North Carolina. But as you can see, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked about this win. FSU had a 16-point lead late in the first half. It dwindled down to 9. North Carolina kept knocking on the door. They kept getting it lower and lower, and FSU kept bouncing back. Let me tell you about this team. They're a senior-laden group led by Michael Snare, who's not a senior, but he's an upperclassman. And FSU relishes these big situations. They pounded North Carolina by 33 in Tallahassee when no one was talking about them. Then obviously Michael Snare beat Duke. And then these 2 days beating Duke and North Carolina. FSU loves the spotlight. As long as they can get through the first couple rounds of the NCAA Tournament unscathed, look out because FSU is built to beat good teams. Crazy, right? That the FSU basketball team is now a bigger power than the football team at the moment. And if the AP standings were to be released before the NCAA Tournament, which they don't get released, FSU would probably be a top 10 team in basketball. It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. Bernard James may not get enough touches down low offensively, but he is an absolute monster on defense. Just block after block after block. David Isdukes, Luke Locks, Michael Snare. The list goes on. Ian Miller. FSU made clutch foul shots late. They are a clutch team, and look out for them in March. I'm telling you, not just as a biased fan, but as someone who has watched a lot of their games this season, FSU has the heart of a champion, and now they can call themselves ACC champions. For Juiced Sports Radio, my name is Scott Jacobs. This is March Madness.